Welcome to my channel. I hope you enjoy this video. Time to dive into the book.
Hello, this is Jessica with Honest Taco Books, and we are doing a book haul today. This is my Lori book haul, and I have 3 boxes to unbox. I never know what's going to be in these boxes. I'm always hoping for a few that I want to read, and then I disperse into the little free libraries and amongst family friends. So let's see what I got. Michael Vey, The Prisoner of Cell 25, Washington, D.C. The Lifeboat, an enthralling story of survival at sea by Charlotte Rogan. Ooh, Lisa Jackson, I like her. Twice Kissed. Okay. We're off to a good start. Jodi Picoult, Wish You Were Here. I don't remember if I have this one or not, but okay. Revive America. Okay. Cute. Whoops. The dog needs a bone on mother's lap. The 3 little pigs. There's something so reminiscent to me about these books that have the plastic cover on them that I just remember my teachers sitting up in front of the class and reading to us and holding the books, and these were the library books with the plastic cover. Stella Luna, that's very cute. We have that book. The Lion and the Mouse. Okay, Winnie the Pooh invents a new game. A little pop-up. Oh, now why would they stamp discard on the actual pages? That's a little sad. One Night. Cookies, some children's books with CDs. Cute. Okay. Some more kid books. The Red Sea Rules. Okay. Gifted. Okay, that looks like a YA chapter. Hope for an Aching Heart. Heaven is for real. I've seen this before. Okay. Devotional. Anchor in the Storm, When Tides Turn. I think these are... I don't know if these are romance, but they look like, you know, Navy romance, maybe. The Growth Guided Journal. So, growing up, how to be a disciple who makes disciples, family-driven faith. Five-star living on a 2-star budget. Coastal Alaska. Okay. Eclipse. Oh yeah, this was a good series. My daughter and I read this. Princesses Behaving Badly. Real stories from history without the fairy tale endings. That looks interesting. That looks very interesting. Okay. The Three Heavens. Teen to Teen Daily Devotional. Oh, this might be good for my daughter. College Admission, How to Get into Your Dream School. The Unseen Companion. The Pursuit of Holiness. The Girls Still Got It. Take a Walk with Ruth and the God Who Rocked Her World. Okay. Let's see. Crazy Love. Okay. Empowering Leadership. Be Authentic. Let Me Be a Woman. Honeysuckle Dreams, a Blue Ridge Romance. Okay. All right. On to the next box. Okay, so this box has some movies. James Dobson, Love Must Be Tough. The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. How to Fix, Flip, and Sell Houses for Profit. Total War. Okay. More movies. The Guns of August. I have no idea. Inspiring Words. Okay, coloring book. Macaroons. Okay. Stephen Ambrose to America. Nimitz Class. Patrick Robinson. Steel Inferno. Street Smart, The Rise of Cities and the Fall of Cars. Okay. A Real Good War. Gulag, A History by Anne Applebaum. An important book. It is fervently to be hoped that people will read Anne Applebaum's excellent, tautly written and very damning history. Soviet concentration camps. Okay. The Memphis Belle, Home at Last by Memno Dirksen. Okay. And then we have biology. I do like textbooks. There's something wonderful about textbooks. Okay, so that's the third box. The second box. Sorry. So this is box number 3. Ooh, we got Les Miserables. Agatha Christie, and then there were none. I don't have this one. Word Power. Okay. The Midwich Cuckoos. Ew. cautionary tale of a quiet English village where nothing ever happened until late one September night, when every woman in town became inexplicably pregnant. 9 months later, 60 beautiful children were born, 60 unbelievable threats to the human race. Fun. Religions in America. Okay. The one thing. Okay. Oh, here's another Lisa C. Snow, Flower, and the Secret Fan. Nice. A Sand County Almanac and sketches here and there. Okay. Oh, we got another eclipse book. New moon. Okay. A good scent from a strange mountain. Oh, Vietnam War. Okay. Blending Vietnamese folklore and American realities. All right. Matsuo Basho, The Narrow Road to the Deep North and Other Travel Sketches. Haiku poems. Okay. Ernie's War. Getting a lot of war books in this group. Flags of Our Fathers. Mormonism. More Than Rivals. Girl Talk. Alright. Healing Wellness. Oh, I think there's CDs. Okay. Yesterday, Today, and Forever. Prayer, The Ultimate Conversation. Charles Stanley. The Christmas Angel Project. Oh, I was like, Home Spa, recipes and techniques to restore and refresh. The facial, oh, okay. Herbal steam, okay. God's prescription for healing. Okay. I think this was in another box. Oh, so somebody, yep. Okay. Invitation. Exceeding gratitude for the Creator's plan. Discover the life-changing dynamic of appreciation. The Snow Globe. The Amish of Jamesport. Okay. Great Controversy, creating the 500th anniversary of the Great Protestant Reformation. Buy, keep, or sell collectibles in your home. This might be fun just to look through. Oh yeah. See what I have and maybe what I had as a child. Okay, that's fun. Celebrate the season, Better Homes and Gardens. That's cute. Oops. Oh, that's cute. magazines. When Bible Meets History. Okay, and we've got 2 of those. Alright. This little pamphlet. So that is the 3 boxes. Now I sort. Okay, so I'm keeping some and didn't practice a lot of self-control. So I feel like I'm definitely going to keep all of these, and it seems like a lot, but we'll go through them. So the first one is Les Miserables. It's a classic. All I really know is that this is a historical fiction. It's a classic, but it's set in France, 19th century. And I know that it's sort of like a representation during that time of their politics, the lifestyle, but I think the main character, himself lives in poverty. I don't know a lot. I don't know. But yeah, it was a classic, so I grabbed it. This one it's just fun to me. It's word power, program learning without a machine. And when I looked at it, I had to really read the instructions because it is basically a learn vocabulary. It's almost like a little, textbook, but it's not. And so what you do is you have a vocabulary word, and then you have 4 choices, and you choose the definition that you think is correct, and then you can check your answers on the next page. But they have it set up sort of in a fun game-like way. I showed my daughter and she's like, that doesn't look fun. So I'm just going to go through the first page. We're not going to do a lot, but the first word is concession, and your choices are nourishment, plea, restoration, similarity, or acknowledgement. And so you choose the one that you want, and then you go to the next page and you check your answers. So we'll go through these, and you can be mentally thinking if you know what these words mean. And then at the end, we'll come back and we'll do the answers. So fritter, manipulate, agitate, terrorize, or waste. The next word is ostracize, flatter, scold, show off, banish, or vibrate. Stringent, the definitions, the choices are rigid, threaded, musty, obtained, or avoided. The next word is apiary, cage for primates, collection of beehives, birdcage, or eagle's nest. Next word is caveat, codicil, unfortunate purchase, warning, agreement in principle. Next word is effluence, emanation, wealth, vapor, blossom. Next word, hectare, measure of land, challenger, bully, or champion. And the last one is maunder, weep sentimentally, talk incoherently, flow swiftly, or act insincerely. So I think I know what concession means, fritter, ostracize, stringent, caveat. I think I know what those are. I'm pretty confident that I know what those are. Apiary, effluence, hectare, and maunder, I'm going to guess. Make a educated guess. But I think it's just fun if you kind of did, one page every once in a while to broaden vocabulary. I just thought that would be really fun. So I'm keeping it. The next one is the Midwich Cuckoos, and I love this cover. I don't know. It's not a book that I would normally gravitate to, but I think because of May, Horror Mayhem, this just looks like a very campy, fun, quick little spooky read. But like, I love the houses. I love this ghostly child with the creepy eyes, but he's like cute, but spooky. He's kind of like Casper. He's kind of cute and friendly looking. Yeah, I don't know, but I'm keeping it. Agatha Christie, of course. I have 3 now, so this is my 4th. And I don't have this one, so I am just building my collection of Agatha Christie, mystery, thriller. Yep. This one, A Good Scent from a Strange Mountain. And this sounds really very, very interesting. It is after the Vietnam War, and it is, I think, 15 different stories of Vietnamese people, and their experience and how wide or broad that can look. And how some of them try to assimilate and Americanize. You know, they moved to America after the war, and how the just, you know, kind of finding their way after the Vietnam War. And so I have watched it was a documentary years ago about the Vietnam War, and it was fascinating. And it's very interesting to me, for very, personal reasons. And so this just sounds really interesting. I don't know if I will get to it this month, but I am going to keep it out. So, because it's not terribly long, it's 240 pages. So, I could, yeah, it just, really, really kind of that coexisting of American culture, woven in with, you know, surviving war and, what that looks like and how it can look in many different ways, how people experience it. So I'm keeping that. This I'm keeping, but this one I'm not 100% sure. It's poetry. It's a collection of poetry, The Narrow Road to the Deep North and Other Travel Sketches. It's a collection of haiku poems, but it's mostly nature. And I do believe it's, Zen Buddhism, travel, yeah. And so it's not that I don't like poetry, but I think it's more that it's more like nature based. And so a lot of the poems are going to be about, you know, being outside and everything. So, I glanced at some of them, and so I may sort of just sprinkle read them, but it is my intention to read it. How about that? It is my intention to read it. I don't know when. Okay. And then this, Lisa C., I have a couple of her books. This is Snowflower and the Secret Fan. And this is about 2 women that pass messages back and forth written on a fan. And it is part of their culture where they can communicate this way, and the men do not intercede or they don't, the men don't interfere with this. I don't think they know about it, honestly. They also communicate, with like handkerchiefs. So feminine things that they own, that they use and maybe would, pass back and forth when they visit or in travels. And it is under the radar of the men. So they sort of have this friendship that they can talk about, how they're feeling or what it's like, the ups and downs of marriage and children. And, some of the cultures, I know one of the things was the foot binding, and, just, their life. And so they get to share it and have a confidant and have a friend, sort of in secret. So it sounds very interesting. So this is another one that drew me in because it's nature writing, a Sand County almanac and sketches here and there. And it's by Aldo Leopold. So it's broken down, by months and then goes into Wisconsin, Illinois, and Iowa, Arizona, New Mexico, Oregon, and Utah. So conservation, wildlife, preservation, things like that. So just sounds really good and I want to keep that. This one is Princesses Behaving Badly. So the cover drew me in, the whole idea of princesses being delicate little creatures that, only worry about what they're wearing, and which dinner fork to use and everything. This is sort of turns that on its head. And so it's the rebels and rabble rousers, the floozies and fakes, manipulators and mad women. So I think it is 4 specific princesses and, how they behave in unprincess-like fashion. So that's that one. This is The Lifeboat by Charlotte Rogan. And this is a newly married couple. They go on a trip, on a boat, and, it's set in 1914. There is some sort of, emergency. Something happens with the boat and they all have to get into a lifeboat, and not everybody can fit. And so it's sort of like the ugly truth of survival and what people do and the choices that they make and what happens. So, of course it makes me think Titanic. But yeah, so sounds interesting. Is Jodi Picoult, Wish You Were Here. I have read one Jodi Picoult book, but I have a lot of hers. I have sort of collected them. But I said in another video, you have to be ready to be sort of emotionally devastated reading her books. There's always that, you can see both sides of the story and you struggle along with the characters. And so this one is, a couple where they have and it's a boat too, I think. It's somewhere. They, have a trip planned and he is a doctor and a pandemic breaks out and he can't go because he has to help. There's, just an overflow of sick people. And so, but he says to her, you should go because it's non-refundable. So go. And she does. And she doesn't have a great time at first. Things are going wrong. And then she, the Galapagos Islands, that's where she's going. And she is isolated because even though she went, the pandemic apparently stretches to where she is. And so she's isolated. There's no Wi-Fi. And I guess the island, whatever the precautions they're taking. And she starts to question life choices. So it sounds almost, like we're just scratching the surface of that. And obviously there's a lot more to it, but, it doesn't look like some of her books are really big. And so this wasn't very big. And I read Handle with Care. I did like it. But I cried in like the introduction, I think, and not a little bit, like I bawled. And it was a rough book. So I have not picked up another one of hers since then, and that's been a while. So, adding this to the collection of Jodi Picoult. This is Lisa Jackson Twice Kissed. I am a fan of Lisa Jackson. I have read lots of her books. I have several on my shelf. This is one of the kinds, this author in particular, if I'm just like in a reading slump or I don't know what, I can just grab one of hers and it's good. There's usually a murder investigation. There is usually some sort of, like cognition. The main character usually has the ability to touch an object and get a feel for emotions, or there's some telepathy or the connection between characters, and so they can feel someone else's emotions. This is twin sisters that are very, very different. But the one sister goes missing and she can sense and she can feel that, she's very much in danger. And so there's always an investigation. It's always a thriller of some kind. And it usually has that element too. So I'll keep this because I know I like her. And then this one I am keeping for my daughter. It's just a daily devotional for teens. And so I think that she would really like it. This one is Home Spa Recipes, natural. So like how to make your own shampoo, herbal steam. I'll probably look through it. I don't know that I will keep or do everything, but I do like these. It's sort of like cookbooks, especially when they have pictures. I'm like, so for now, this is just a coloring book. So, I have some, and sometimes they're just fun to sit down and color. I'll color with my girls. But you could listen to audiobooks and color. Nice and relaxing. And then last but not least, this one is just really fun. I looked through it a little bit, but I do like to go thrifting with my mom. I also go with my daughter, and sometimes it's fun to see, and it's even better if you know that something is valuable. And if you can get it for a bargain, that's a great feeling. And so, but then sometimes, I was just looking through it initially because I think it's fun nostalgia to go, oh, we had that when I was a kid, or I can remember having that. And so I will look through it and then I will pass it along. But I will keep it for the moment so that I can look through and have fun with it. Probably pass it on to my mom. If not, it'll go in a little free library. So a lot of books, and a lot of different kinds of books. So just like with any thrifted, any little free library books, I am going to put these in the freezer and let them sit for 48 hours to a week, and then I will pull them out and then they can join the rest of the books on the bookshelves. So it's been an easy practice. I've been putting them in and rotating out as I get different books, and it's hasn't been difficult at all. So it's just doing it, just remembering to do it. But I'm very excited and happy with what was in those boxes. I will pass on the children's books and I will pass on the other books and disperse them out. But so let's go back to our vocabulary. So, what did you think concession means? And I will put the answer. Oops. Okay. So I have to make sure that I look. So concession is acknowledgement. Okay. I was right for that one. Fritter is waste. You fritter your time away. So I was right with that one. Ostracize is to banish. Yes. And then stringent is rigid. And so now we're going to get into the ones that I wasn't sure about. Apiary. Do you know what apiary means? And so my guess is a cage for primates. I'm thinking aviary, apiary. They do have primate cages. So we're going to go with cage for primates. And this one is, it is a collection of beehives. I didn't know that at all. Okay. Caveat is a warning, which I was certain of that. Affluence. I'm going to go with wealth. I think it's wealth. I'm thinking affluence. This one is emanation. And I don't know what that is. Emanation. So now I have to look up that word. Okay. Hector. I have no idea. Sounds like a name. Okay. It's a bully. Hector is a bully. Okay. Is that like a heckler? Hector? Heckler? A bully? Okay. And then the last one, I don't know either. Maunder. Maunder. Talk incoherently. I really had no guess because I was like, weep sentimentally, maunder. Talk incoherently, flow swiftly, act insincerely. So talk incoherently is to maunder. Okay. So definitely learned some new words there, confirmed the ones that I did know. I thought that was fun. Did you think that was fun? So it's just a way to increase your vocabulary and check what you know in a fun way, even if your kids don't think it's fun. So, okay. So if you made it all the way to the end, thank you. And that was really fun. I always look forward to my Lori books and going through them. And until next time, I will be reading.